You're all gonna say, oh, 'cause of the taste, duh. But a big, fat, juicy steak. Bacon, though. There's gonna be all those fucking played out comments, I'm sure.
This is the dopamine cotta. Fresh dopamine.
For any of you that have been following my channel for a while, if you've watched all my videos, and some of them I'll talk about being vegan. I'm totally vegan for non-health reasons. It's all philosophical, ethical, moral reasons. And this shit pisses me off. This shit right here. It stinks, it's gross, all the land they're on is dead, yet everything, like, we can grow things, nice and beautiful crops, but this is just dead, disgusting, smelly, filthy land. And not only that, they're right next to a fresh waterway, and that shit runs off into the fucking water systems, and, you know, just poisons our water. It's not good for us, man. See, that's the runoff into our fresh waterways of cow shit. Now, that's polluting our fresh water. Sure, it's created an unusual ecosystem right here, but it's poisoning our water. I mean, listen to me, people. Just listen for a second. This isn't even that bad of one. This is just one here in New Mexico. But if you're buying from the major distributors, Cargill, Tyson, Bar S, or whatever the fuck it is. Look at that one's trying to get some loving. These guys piss and shit all day long. And they walk around in their own piss and shit all day long. And it kicks up under their bellies, onto the fucking backs of their tails, on their ass. I mean, these guys are just, look at them, they're like puppies. They're just so happy to just have some freaking interaction. I don't see, meat here. I see abused animals that just want attention. They're just curious like dogs, man. Why do we house a dog as a pet and eat cattle? Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, back to my other point. When they go in for rendering, that's what they call it in the industry, rendering. We call it slaughter, they call it rendering. When they go in to be rendered or slaughtered, I mean, that piss and shit is still on them. And that piss and shit is spread throughout the entire factory. And the USDA and the FDA allow a certain amount of fecal particles per, milliliter or whatever of whatever it is. It's in your milk, it's in your yogurt, it's in your cheese, it's in your meat for sure. But there's a certain amount of allowed fecal matter because they shit and piss all over themselves being in these big groups. And like I said, this is just a little one. And they actually have a lot of room compared to some places. Do me a favor, YouTube, anybody watching this, go online and watch the Netflix movie. What is it? Okja, something like that. OKJA. Find that movie and watch it, man. Go on that movie and tell me at the end of that movie what you felt. Now you can come and you can be a total asshole, or we can have a real conversation, real talk about empathizing with these beings. We don't need them. I mean, science has already said it's much better, to not eat a ton of meat. And also, the American Dietetic Association has said you can live just fine without meat. I mean, you look at tons of people. Ozzy Osbourne was vegan. Who else is vegan? Rob Zombie's vegan. Like, there's some people in the UFC that are vegan. Look up vegan bodybuilders. We're not all weak fucks. You can survive. And this is just cruel. I know this video is going to get a ton of hate by meat eaters out there, but this is cruel. These cows are not especially happy. And they're happy to see me. Look how many has congregated right here just from the time I got here. How many people, they just are looking at me. And all I see is his eyes staring at me saying, help me. Help me out of here. Get me the fuck out of here. There's a pasture right down the way with 6 cows to a pasture this size. 6. It's green. They don't have to walk in their own shit and piss. They have plenty to eat. This is disgusting. Look at these guys. They're just playing, man. They just want to play and hang out. And we take them into a building with no windows, solid walls, and we slit their throats, and we hang them upside down from a chain, and we watch them kick and struggle until the blood runs out to the point where they actually are dead. There's such fear in their eyes. And we package them in these nice little package, and we put, oh, these cows came from a happy farm. This is an example, I guess, of what they mean by a happy farm. Free range. Still sickening. If you could smell it here, it smells like death. And these guys soak up this smell, soak up this aroma their entire lives, and you eat that shit. You eat that shit. And we wonder why, as we eat more and more and more meat and the demand for meat becomes greater and greater, why we get sicker and sicker. Oh, he's shitting right now. He almost shit on the other guy. I mean, you put this many dogs together, too, and make it the same square footage per size of animal or whatever, and they're gonna shit and piss all over themselves, too. Don't you guys see the hypocrisy? They hide these places out of town. They hide these places way out in the middle of nowhere. We found this on total accident. We were just riding with no real expectation of where to go, and we came across this. They don't want people to see this shit. And if I could get inside the slaughter parts, or get inside where the sick cows are, or get up close to show you the open sores and wounds and, you know, gross tumors and shit on their bodies, you'd see how even much worse it is. These guys, when I see these animals, I just see my dog. I see Marshall, my pit bull. They look exactly the same to me, at least in their mannerisms. Wagging their tails, playing, running around, licking each other, sneezing, farting, shitting, pissing, just... And if you want to go one step further, if humans were to be made to live in areas like this, probably the same. The younger humans trying to make the most of it, the older ones depressed as fuck, middle-aged ones either causing trouble or just trying to stay out of the way. They just want to be free. Yep. Luke here is a vegan as well. I'm a vegan. The lady is a vegan. Most of our friends are vegans. Dr. Oz said that veganism is going to explode in 2017 and become like the new thing. I've heard lots of philosophers say within the next 100 years, vegetarianism and veganism will be a normal way of life and everything else will become barbaric. Philosophers of the old days have said things like, as long as there are slaughterhouses, there will be battlefields. Especially when it's not necessary. At least for us. I got a supermarket. I just gassed up at one. A gas station right in front of a supermarket. I can go in there and buy anything. I'm not speaking for people struggling for survival on the plains of the African Serengeti or whatever. I'm not speaking for people in the Arctic and Antarctic and places like that. But for anybody that lives near a city, why the fuck would you ever, like, just... I know it tastes good, whatever. I'm not even talking about that. You're all gonna say, oh, because of the taste, but it's big, fat, juicy steak. Bacon, though. There's gonna be all those fucking played out comments, I'm sure. But thoughtful conversation. Really thinking about this and not getting uncomfortable talking about it. That's what I'm looking for. And to make this go away, all we have to do is stop eating them. Once the demand is gone, the supply stops. Demand controls supply. Vote with your dollar. If you're a hunter, I'm not having that conversation right now. Hunting's less than 1% of the problem. This is not hunting. This is not you at the top of the food chain. This is you and your fat ass sitting at home and deciding to go to the grocery store and instead of eating a fucking apple or a carrot or some tempeh or seitan or whatever, you spend your dollar on a fucking steak. That's you that's doing this. That's you that's paying the guy to slit these innocent animals' throats. They're just big puppy dogs.